All right, thank you very much. So I am presenting my screen already. So please confirm that you can see my screen. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I will be I'll be on one screen, so I will not be able to see your reactions quickly. The moderator should please notify me when there are chats on the chat box so that I can quickly come on this screen and pick them up. Okay, so we'll be using one of my very nice tenants, and yeah, this was just a class I was before I joined here, so apologies. So ideally, anyone working with Microsoft 365 has one place that would always be like a starting point for you as a user. So today we are not going to be looking at Teams administration. We are going to be looking at Microsoft Teams as a user. We're going to be navigating up, down, inside and out of what an end user would see, because before you say you want to go support someone as administrators, like as you are becoming, you would need to know what the user experience is. For example, I want you to do something for me, or I want you to repair something for me. If you don't even know how it's supposed to be or it's supposed to work, you cannot repair it. So for example, I dismantle a ceiling fan and I give it the blades, I give it the motor, and I say, please help me arrange it. If you don't have the picture of how a ceiling fan looks, you cannot assemble it. That is why they will give you a picture, a prototype that will guide you on how to, you know, install that fan or install that whatever you want to do. So that same approach we are going to give this today. We are going to see how it is even supposed to look, and then so that when we get to support, you now know when something is broken, where you need to go fix it to. So coming back to what a user would always be able to do, he will always be able to sign into office.com, irrespective of whether he has licenses or not. So when the user signs into office.com this way, then the user would now have option to services and applications. And this is a function of if that user has the license that gives him access to those services. So coming to office.com, of course, you have the office.com. Because this user has Exchange license, then it has Outlook. Because it has SharePoint license, it has OneDrive. Because it has Office license that gives into Office apps, then it can see Word, Excel. Then the same thing too happens to Microsoft Teams. So if you are a user, you are licensed for Teams, then you are going to have Teams listed here. But if you have license assigned and Teams is not there, then you are not going to see this. So if you have this, then you can click on it. I just hope it's not going to prompt for MFA, because if it does, I'll have to leave my seat for a second, but I hope it should not do that. Okay, so Teams at Teams, you have the admin center and then you have the client. So if you see admin center, so for those seeing dollars and nairas in my screen, let me do a disclaimer. I'm doing communication compliance research. So I'm seeing how communication compliance can capture credit cards and amounts. Just in case you're watching this in the future and you are seeing that LabRats is sending me inappropriate image and then is sending me credit card number. It's just a test I'm doing in my lab and with my lab rats. So Teams is of two types. Will I say two types? So we have two mediums through which you can access Microsoft Teams. You have the web-based application, which is here, and you can access that with teams.microsoft.com. And then you have the desktop version, which is the application that is installed in your in your machine, right? Your laptop. So Teams can be accessed both on web and desktop. I mean, when I say desktop, the application on your computer, both Mac and Windows. But if you are talking about mobile application, like your mobile phone, Teams is only supported as an application. So if you find your way to sign into Teams, which I've heard some people say they find their way to sign into Teams on their mobile, I cannot argue that, but it is not supported. That's why when you go to the web on your phone and you type teams.microsoft.com, which is this, it will redirect you to download the application from the store. So you can access Teams here as a user. So why I'm mentioning this is because if you have an issue while you are trying to access Teams, so you have license and you cannot sign into Teams on the desktop application, the next approach that you'll be given is, have you tried the web, right? So this is the desktop app which I can sign into. And then, of course, if you search for Teams now, you will see Teams app here, up here, which is an application. And then if you come to the web, it is here on the web. I don't want to trouble us on whether this is going to open right now or not. I'm going to be working strictly on the web because most of the functionalities I'll be needing for us to use today are actually available on the web. So where can you download the Teams desktop application? If you go to Store, Microsoft Store on your Windows, then you can search for Teams and then you can see Microsoft Teams to download. If you just search for Teams, then it will pop up Microsoft Teams. So what you have there is the Teams desktop application, while the one you have on the web is called the web client. That's the right word given to it, the web client. And then the one you have to install here is the desktop version of Teams. You can also go to the web browser to install Microsoft Teams on your computer, right? So you can access them. There are also devices that are dedicated as Teams devices, which we should not bother ourselves about at this point. But what I just wanted to know is that if you are given Teams license, which we will do or look at while looking at the administration, but that's going to be on a later day. But for now, just know that you can access Teams on the browser as teams.microsoft.com, and you can access Teams on the desktop as a desktop application. And then on your mobile, the supported app, the supported medium or means with which you can access Teams is via the mobile application, the Teams mobile app. The web is not supported. If you crack your way into it, it's fine, but that is not supported. So, having said that, if you come into your Teams, the first thing you will see in an ideal setting, I'll try to be as simple as I can, because when we now get to the administration, you will see that we can rearrange all this. But by default, the first icon you see by the left hand side is your notification. What is the function of notification? Notification is telling you the missed calls, the the messages that you have not read, the places where you've been at mentioned. They'll keep on piling here until you go and attend to them. So like what is here is discover the new academy for Copilot. This was like a learning. A Q&A has ended for a particular event. So this is just giving me like a heads up on what is happening in where I have seen myself. So the next icon is going to be your charts. So in your charts, chat behaves like what you have on WhatsApp, where you can chat an individual. You can create a group chat where you have people. In a group chat, you can have as much as 250 persons added to a group chat. You can create a group chat. You can also try to do so every group call that you have, which we'll look at when we get to calls. We automatically create a group chat. And now between your chat and the person in your organization, then you are going to be having options for this that you have. A here is alpha, I mean, it's a paragraph, just so you can paragraph. Then you have the emojis here. Then you are not always going to have this here. This is Copilot. You're not always going to be having it. Then you have this plus that will give you other options. If you want to do like an attachment, if you want to do a praise app and all of that, we are going to use all of them to just show what we are talking about. You see options here and all of the links. So between the chat you have with your colleague in your organization, then you always have option for to share. And then if you come to this place, you can also in between your chats, if there are websites that you are accessing often, and then if you have applications that you both use, you can also bring in applications in between your chat, just you and somebody. So if there's a website that you often visit, then you can put it in between your chats. So what I mean is you can add some things, you can add applications to it, and you can do a lot within your chats. You can also add a file that you both can be co-authoring on. And then in a chat this way, you can decide to just loop in another person. So what's happening is that you are here with the chat now having lab rats. You can decide to convert the chat to become a group chat. So what happens is that you're going to call in another person to become a member of this chat. So, and the person you are calling in here must be a Teams licensed user actually also. So you are bringing this guy in here. So what's going to happen is that this is definitely now going to turn to a group chat. But before we go on, I will come down to come here now and say, okay, I have, I am now in chats, which is my second option after notification, right? If I want to chat somebody in my organization, what I would do is to put the email address here. And once I put the email address here, for people that I've interacted with recently, it is going to bring them up here for me. But if I want to talk to somebody that is not, that I've not spoken to recently, what I will do is I will search for that person. I have a few users, very few users in these tenants. So I know I have Rafiah here. So if I want to chat with Rafiah on these tenants, I can just easily click search for Raf. So once I put I, then Rafia's name comes up. I think after the third character, then it will display everyone that is having that name for me. So I can just click on Rafia right now, and then once I will know her status based on the fact that we are in the same tenant. So from here, it is showing me that she is offline at the moment, which is almost like the experience you have with your WhatsApp. So if I want to hide her, I can just hide from here and then she can respond to me. If I want to loop in, if I want to make a call with her, I can just easily, of course, we'll get to that. But inside of this chat, I can decide to do this, or I can decide to click here and just make a video call directly or make an audio call. But if I come to hit only on this directly, it's going to give me an audio call. So if I want to add somebody, of course, I can click here to add somebody, just like you're having a chat on WhatsApp, and then you are adding another person. But the good thing about Teams is that when you are adding somebody, you can decide if the person should see the chat I've been having with Rafiah for the before the person is joining the chat. Let's say I've been having a chat with her for like 5 months ago, and the person I'm looping into the chat, I only want the person to see the chat from yesterday. I can decide to say, okay, the chats from yesterday to today are the only chats that you're going to see. If I wanted to not see the chat that we had before adding you, I can also block you from seeing them. So as the case may be. So that is me coming to Rafia's chat. And then if I come to, shared, these are the files that we are both working on, that is in my OneDrive, that she also has access to. I don't have a file here that we are working on together. There's no recent file, which is okay. I can upload a file and she can be on it, just the same way we did co-authoring during our SharePoint classes. Then we can both be working on the documents together. We can be on an Excel where, okay, you work on September sheets I am working on October sheets, and we can check on each other to see how that is going. And I can do that for 250 persons. I can add as much as 250 persons to an existing chat, right? That we can work together, have a call, record the calls, do our meetings, record our meetings. All of those can be going on within a chat. So, having said that, how to search for users within chats, how to add users to initiate a chat, how you can add more people to that chat. I will again come here to explain something to you. Let's say, for instance, you want to originally create, like from the very scratch, you want to create a group chat for a project as a user. So you can come here and then you click on, so once you click on this rectangle icon, like with a pen going into it, you have option to call several people. So I'm calling on Labrats, and also I am calling on Benga. Also, I am calling on Paul, and I am also calling on Evans. So what this means is that I am adding these guys to a group that we are going to work on together. So I don't know the name of the project yet, but I am bringing them together that we may be able to collaborate on a particular task. So I'm just going to be bringing them in, typing their names, their email addresses. So once I'm done with that, I can click on here. And then the next thing I will do is to come here. So if I just click outside this way, then what happens is that you just be having them, these plus 3. That's going to be what you have here. Now, for you to now give it a project, let's say project M365. So I can now click on this pencil icon and I will call it project 2020. I'd call it M365 just now, M365. So when I do this, what happens is I will save, and then it has become a collaboration channel for us called project project M365. So if I want to add more people to this channel, of course I can. If I click on here, I can click on add so that I can also dial in more people. I don't know who else I have here, but let's say I want to add lab guy to it. The lab guy can come in, and then I can keep on adding people to it. Now look at something. If I click on at, I have option to add someone to the chat. So at button also gives me option to at mention anybody in that. So once I at mention you here, it's going to send you a notification that you have been at mentioned in a chat by coming here. I use the system just now. So Labrat is here. So I'm just going to say hi Labrat. So once I do this, Labrat is going to get, I know I signed in as Labrat here. So I'm just going to sign into Teams as Labrat. So Labrat will just come to teams.microsoft.com. So since he's here, we're just going to be using him as our demo user today. Okay, so while Labrat is trying to come up with his own teams, I'll just come back to the tenants that we are, that is here. So this is project 2020, project M365. Now I can add people, right? I can add people by clicking on add sign. I can add mention people. I can add mention everyone. So if I do this, what is going to happen is that if you are not signed in to Teams, it will send you an email to say that you have been mentioned in Teams here. So if I say hello now, so what's going to happen is this will notify every member of the team. So if you want to call people's attention, everyone's attention to a conversation, then you are going to do at everyone. Then if you are going to add more people to the group chats, you're going to do at mention, and then you have, you can at mention a particular person, right? So let's also go back to check Labrat signing in. Okay, so you can see that Labrat got high Labrat, and if you come and check the notification here, it's going to see that he has been at mentioned. So that is where notification is important. So because he has been at mentioned, if I also check his mail, if he was not signed in, if he was not signed into Teams, then he's also going to get an email that states that your teammate is trying to reach you from Teams, so that wherever is available online is going to get a notification that his attention has been called to a particular, I mean, call to action. So if he also comes here now and say, okay, he's at mentioning Joseph here, and then he goes ahead to say hi. So what's going to happen is this will send a notification to me as well to say Labrat has at mentioned me in a group chat. But what if Labrat wanted to just chat with me directly? He can just come here to say this is a chat between me and Labrat. This is called one-to-one chat or one-on-one chats, right? It is not a group chat. So Labrat can say hello to me here. And then that does not mean that he cannot do notification. He can do it, right? Just so he can call my attention very quickly to something. He can also mention me, and I will get like a louder prompt to say my attention is required. You can see this is a chat from Labrats, right? And this is a chat from Labrats that is inside of a group chat, which this person is going to have access to. I mentioned something. So if I want to add, if I want to, so if let me remove this guy first, and then if I want to add him back, then you look at it, I have option to say don't include chat history. So if I'm going to add this guy to this group chat and I say don't include chat history, so what's going to happen is that he will not have access to the chats that were going on before he was added to the chats. If I want to say it should include all chat history, so what is this going to do is it's going to give him access to all the chats that we have had before he joined the chat. Let us say I want to only have him see the chat for the last 5 days. Then I can just say, okay, the last 5 days is okay, you can see them. But here you can set a chat between 1 and 999 days. I wanted it to show it for you to see. It's supposed to be like 1 to 199 days that you can, give him access to see the chat up to. So it can be scrolling up and up. So if I say include all chat history and I bring in the guy here, then it's going to see everything. If I do this and I say no, just for the last 7 days, 1 week, that's okay. But I won't do this and I go and put 0. Then the ad will not give me, it's supposed to fail. Or it will just, okay, what happened here is supposed to fail by design. But the fact that it's accepted 0 day means that you can only see a chart that is just today's charts, right? So these are options that you have here. But because we're in the era of co-pilots, I will also show you something quickly. So because this user that is signed in here has co-pilot license, so what's going to happen is that you have co-pilots to be able to do your charts for you. And that's why this is here. So if you click on here, but before I get there, right, I must show you this. So if I come to, if I'm chatting and I'm saying hello, and I want to enter. So to chat more, I want to click on enter and then type the messages I want this person to see, like maybe like enter, that is to give different lines of my conversation. If I press enter, the message is going to get delivered without giving me option to type under it. So what I can do is I can say hello. If I want to do how are you, I will press down the shift key and then I will press enter. The reason I'm saying this is because people who are sending fragmented messages can be very annoying to me. So if you want to talk to me in the morning, don't just tell me hello, how are you, or hello, good morning, when you know that there's something more important that you want to tell me. It's more productive to tell me hello, hold down your shift key, press enter. Even if you want to tell me how are you, tell me the next thing, please. I want us to look at X, Y, or Z together. Then I hold down my shift key again and I say, what time are you free? Are you free today? This is a question mark. Can I just hit it once, enter once without holding the shift key to go? Then what is the essence of the this key? This one here, show formatting. Show formatting is going to give you the leverage of not holding down your shift key. So you can say, hello, trust you well. Kindly let me know XYZ. And then once if I even want to format it, of course, if there are points I want to raise, point one, point two, I can use this. If I want to put them in bullets, I can put them in bullets. If I want to even go as far as highlighting them, of course, just to make noise with it, I can. If I want to also change the color, whatever that is suiting me, if I want to add a link, if I want to do all those things, I can do them because I had clicked on this A icon here. So what happens, I can do send here, or it will go. But while I have this open, if I am typing, enter does not get my message delivered. This is very important for me to explain because people who want to report issues to support people, you should be able to give like a full detail. If, for example, this is a screenshot, you can also put a screenshot in between your conversation and everything can go through at once to the person that because you have clicked on this. But if you don't click on this and then you are just coming to type straight messages and then you mistakenly hit enter, it's going to get delivered to the person receiving the message. The reason I'm saying this is because these things may look very simple to people who have experience with MS Teams, while it is very straightforward and simple, but people still make these mistakes, or people don't even give it a thought. But it's very important that when you are sending messages, if you want to type a long message, that you need to enter multiple times, or you need to call people's attention, highlight some point that should call for like urgent, you know, effective communication. The need cannot be overemphasized as the effect on productivity. Like Microsoft Teams is a collaboration hub, just in case I did not define it, is a hub for collaboration, but it can also hinder productivity. As at the time, the things that do not require you to call, you are calling. As at the time, the things you could just drop a message once, you are dropping them per second. It can be annoying, and they are going to be raising their notification tone to the individual that you are chatting with. It's going to be distracting, and that's why consolidated messages are very necessary. And that's why this icon that you see, this little icon here, can save you a day, right? So it is very important. So the next one is the emojis. Of course, all of us know the importance of emojis, right? I have a colleague outside of the shores whom when we talk, most time I like giving him like nice emojis to make him feel good when we've done something like very, very nice. I can come here and then give him like very nice emoji. If I'm surprised, I can go to surprise. Of course, emoji is not something that we are not used to. But one very important thing or different thing I want to show you today is the more options we have here under the GIFs. And if you look at GIFs, GIFs are very, very important. Emojis, for example, look at emojis. These are emojis that you have in Teams. You can use them, right, to do a chat just on that group chat. That is, but don't be playing. So, but when it is necessary, especially when you are a manager and you want to get people motivated, somebody can do something like that is very, very nice, and you want to say, great one, Joseph. So just come here, say, great one, and then you just did this. And this is just done. And then it will be like he has customized. Why is that one hiding? So, but we'll go back to that. So what I mean is that you can do some kind of fun things. So for example, if you are an emoji, okay, let's go to chiefs. This is where I wanted to look at. So if somebody is winning and you are telling the person congratulations in a team, you can go ahead and send a congratulation message to the person. So this is supposed to load for us playing what we just picked, right? So this is here, so something like that. You can come to emojis, come to GIF and do a lot of things. If somebody is winning and you want to give him like winning emoji, you can just click on this and you can send him this to say, hey, the team is winning. Maybe there's a victory song that you are singing. Of course, it can be very, very interesting. while this can be very motivating, it can also cause distractions. Because if a team member comes to look at this now, it will not be like there's a play, but there are time for everything, right? That you do. So these are the like very sweet things that you can do on teams. Like when you're happy and like the team hit the milestone of this project, you can bring all these things up just to make things happen. But while you are seeing these things, they can be controlled. That's why I'm saying that you should know where these things are done, just so later when we are removing these things, of course, as sweet as they look, they can become distraction to a playful team. You can decide to say, no, I don't want all this to happen. Just go straight, send your messages. There is no emojis for you. There is no GIF for you. There's no fun stuff. We can remove them all. So I'm just saying this because when you start working as support for, you have related issues to resolve in Microsoft Teams, this can just be a case that you want to resolve. A team can just, somebody can just come to say, no, we can't even do all those fun stuff on Teams, and it keeps the team motivated. I want to resolve it. If you don't even know where they are, how do you even start resolving the issue? So having said that, in emojis, of course, I mean in GIFs, you can do a lot, right? You can do quite a lot with GIFs. Stickers too are there. Stickers are just places where you want to customize the person's name, right? So like I was trying to say, maybe you want to start job in the morning because hello team green. Maybe your team is team green, right? So you can look at, okay, this is not editable. So, but you can do a lot of things. Let's not waste our time with this. So the next one is praise app. I mean, is that praise app? No, let's just come to this place quickly. You can use praise app for people who are, so this actually like you praising somebody for hitting a milestone among your team and then making them feel good. So if you want to give them a cup, you can just type their name. You can say great one. So maybe this is your team member, and then the name now you are bringing the guy up. So you are giving it to this guy. So you're supposed to search for him and bring him up. I think, yeah, that's it. So once you send this now, because he's a member of that team, so what's going to happen is he's going to get this, like you've given him a cup to say, awesome, awesome, Benga, great one, Benga. So this guy is going to be like, that motivation that he's going to have. So the managers always like using this to hit milestones. Where I mean, celebrate when there are milestones that are met within a team, or victory, dancing. Maybe like Friday towards closing, your manager can just decide to just put this nice emoji there where somebody is dancing within a team, just to make sure that, or maybe there was a migration that you were doing and then it ended, and then you did this as victory song, and then on Friday evening before 5 o'clock, your manager just sent this to say, okay, go and party. We have won our fight for the week. All these happen. They are very, very useful. They are nice, they are fun, they are simple, but they can make meaning when you start working. So before I leave here, I was talking about Copilot. So Copilot, this is Copilot. So the reason why this is perhaps grayed out is because I have not, okay, yeah, it's because I've not typed a message. Now, if I want to say, hello team, how do we start the week? Remember, we are still in chats. How do we start the week? If I come to this place, I want to say rewrite with Copilot. This is not going to be available like in all teams, but because I have Copilot here, I can hit on Copilot for Copilot to rewrite that chat for me. So it's just going to recompose it. I'm not sure why it's delaying. That could be network. Can you just quickly do this for me? All right. So you say, hello team, what are our plans to kick off the week? So if I come to adjust, I can say I want it to look enthusiastic. So if I do that, so it's going to write, hi everyone, let's kick off the week with enthusiasm. Or we can say, okay, it's not because I can say, let it be professional. Then it's going to rewrite it. Good morning, team. What's our plan for kicking off the week? If I want it to sound casual, I can also say, let it sound casual. Hello, everyone. What's our plan for kicking off the week? If I want the message to be longer, I can do that so that the message can be longer. Hello, team. I hope this message finds you well. As we embark on a new week, I am eager to hear everyone's thoughts on how we can kick off things on a positive note. let's share our strategies for starting. It's still saying the same thing. I can also say, okay, just make it brief, concise. So what's going to happen? It's just going to be short. Hello team, wishing everyone a productive start of the week. Something, if it fits you, then you can do replace. If it doesn't, of course, you can decide to say, okay, sound confident, right? Hello team, what our plan to kick off the week? So you can replace and then you can hit on send. So everyone gets this. So this is a group chat. This is not a one-on-one chat. And like I mentioned, you can have a lot of people in a chat at the same time, as much as the last time I checked the limitations of 250 people that you can have in a group chat. So also you can chat with people outside the organization if it is allowed in your environment. So I know I have an account that is this. So this is an external account. So if my organization allows me to be able to chat with people outside, if I type an email outside of my organization here, I am also going to be able to find the person to chat with. So, but I think I have done some restrictions on this thing. And so what I'm just trying to say is that you can chat with people outside the organization. But the difference is that when it comes to file sharing, you will not be able to see a file when you are chatting with an external person, but you'll be able to see option to add a file when you are chatting with somebody within your organization or a guest. I'm going to explain guest and external user later, but not now. So that's for you to know. You can chat with people outside the organization if your organization allows you to chat with people outside the organization. They can also say you cannot chat with everyone, but only people from this organization you can chat with. So that is called a closed federation. And then we'll have open federation. But let's not go into the technical details for now. Let's just be playing around. Have with less English. So that was chats, and then we have a group chat, but we have a team. So most people cannot differentiate between a team and a group chat. It's something that is confusing and is allowed for you to get confused as well. But after this talk, you should not forget. I'm going to bring up my paint and explain to you, because somebody will say we just had a team and then we had a conversation. So how come? What's not the difference between a team and a group chat? Can I expand that? I can. So we can say teams versus group chats. Teams versus group chats. What am I writing? So a team, I will explain a group chat as just a one room apartment. Yes, good. It's a one room apartment. This is group chats. It's a one room apartment. The restroom, there's no restroom. There's no form of privacy. There's no kitchen. There is no living room. It's just a one room apartment. But in the other hand, a team is a standard apartment where you have the living room. Let's call that one this. The living room, and then you have dressing room, which is a private room. You have the bedroom, which is a private room, and then you have the kitchen, which is also a private room. If I come to my house and I see somebody in the living room, I should greet the person very well and then maybe find out why the person is there. But if I see you in my dressing room, I should ask you what you are doing there. If I see you in my kitchen, I should be curious. If I see you in my restroom, I should ask. I would take a pause and ask, or just know if you are a visitor in my apartment. But if I see you in my living room, I will just know that you are a visitor, right? So this place is open to everybody. So first off, just know that the group chat is a one-room apartment. Most of us have stayed, okay, some of us, let me not say most, have stayed in one apartment before. And then most of us, or maybe some of us also have stayed in um, multi, like an apartment that has multiple dual function, how do I put it? An apartment that has a standard apartment that has different segments. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Now, why I'm mentioning this is that apart from this difference, there are other differences you will see. But now, generally, or the high level, this is what you can use to differentiate between a group chat and a team. What do I mean? These places that you see, this place, this place, this place, this place, this is a team, right? In a team, there are channels. These ones are called channels. These ones are channels. But each time you create a team, there's going to be a general channel. A general channel. General channel is a kind of channel that comes by default with every team that you create. Before now, you could not rename the general channel. It bears the name general. But you have option now, very recently, to name it to what you want. But once you name it, you cannot rename it. So for every team you create, it comes with this channel, this central channel, general channel, where everybody in the team, let's say you have 10 people in this team. If you have team equal to 10 people, 10 people, these 10 people are going to be here also. 10, 10 people are going to be in the general channel. Now, of course, you know that this one is open. So once you're giving the person the access to a chart of 10 days ago, the person has access to you cannot hide any other thing again, unless you remove the person. But here, you can, after creating the team, it will come with one channel, and that channel is where everybody will be. Now, let's say this is still project M365. But in Project M365, there are places where financial issues are discussed. Financials are discussed. Now, there are places where budgets, budgets, maybe care, I don't know how to call it, care, or maybe human resource is being discussed. Then there is where technical is being discussed. Then there is a place where events, let's say events of end of year party is being planned. End of year party is being planned in one of the rooms. Now, there's something I want us to look at here. Ideally, you have created a team and it came with a general channel. Here, everybody is because you are a member of the team. You can decide to create channels in between where out of these 10 persons, the people in financials or in accounting are only 3. You can create a private channel and call it and give only those 3 people access to this place. So what's going to happen is that this place, if there are 3 people in finance, only 3 will be here. So even though 10 people are here, those out of the 10 people, 7 of them will not be able to see finance. They will not know anything that is going on inside finance. Now, you can decide to create party, end of the year party, and also have everyone here have access to the discussion that is going on how we want to plan our party. But all the conversations that are going to be going on inside how we are planning our party should not be a place where we come to say, good morning, oh, how are you? Hope you are fine. Oh, what was the traffic situation yesterday? That can be happening inside the general channel. Anything can just happen there. But this place is only private to those that are in finance. Let them take care of this. And then you have two HR managers. You have those two HR managers having access to this. Now, what happens is that the two HR managers who are part of this general channel will have access to this. But the three persons who have access to finance, because they are not in HR, will only be able to see finance, but will not be able to see HR. And HR will not be able to see finance, but those in finance will be able to see general. Those in HR will be able to see general. Those in end of the year party will be able to. Now, the end of the year party can be an open channel, but we are restricting the type of conversation that we want us to be having there. Therefore, everybody within the general channel still has access to the end of the year party. But because of the title of that room or that channel, now people will be guided to know that the conversation that are just going on here as just where are we going to have our end of the year party? Is it in Lagos? What hotel? What time? What food are we going to cook? What type of event is it going to be? Corporate, casual, or something? That is all that will be happening here. While all jig and array is happening here. And then you have another one for technical. So inside of this group, people that are here, there are just few, maybe 5 technical guys. You can add those 5 technical guys here. So what this means is that 5 technical guys are just going to be discussing the code, how to deploy them, how to do whatever that is going on in the cloud, the storage, the security, and all of that will just be going on inside here. But somebody in finance will not know. They will be discussing money, money, money. But when we are having a meeting that everybody has to come to, we have the meeting here. We can have the chat here. We can have the files that speaks to general here, and then the files that speaks to the end of the year party and all of those can be coming here. Why these guys can be taking care of, the package, end of the year package, discussing that here, and then maybe their next recruitment is going on inside this place, nothing concerning anybody. Now we'll come back to explain what are the types of channel. Now we now have another channel that we are going to have, and that channel we are going to have people in finance, in care, in human resource, and the people in finance, and people who are outside of this organization. No, who are outside of this organization as contractors, who are coming to help us look at what we are discussing here. So what it means is that you can have people who are not even in this general channel, but in your organization, come in here to have a conversation. They will not have access to the general channel. Don't get confused. But they will only have access to what is happening here. But everyone here has access to this. This one has access to this. This one has access to this. But the people you are inviting here are people in another team in your organization. But you are bringing them solely to go and collaborate with you on this conversation. They should not be able to see anything happening, even on the general channel. And people that are of a different organization at all, that are consultants, you just want them to come and see what is happening inside of this place to have that conversation with you. I will now start classifying the type of channels that we have. So we have standard channel, we have private channel in a team, right? We have private channel, and then we have shared channel. So shared channel is pretty new. So a lot of configurations are required even till today. So these are types of channels that you can have in a team. Maybe I will change these ones to maybe this color. These are types of channels that you can have in a team, right? So standard channel, general channel is an example of it. Private channel is this type of channel where there is technical, there is this person, there is this person. They are private channels. Standard channels are this one that everybody that is in general channel has access to. But remember, somebody here does not have access here. So that is a standard channel. While shared channel, remember, I forgot to add an A. Shared channel is this type of channel where you can have people outside of your organization come in to have a collaboration, but they are not member of the team. They are only member of the channel that you have invited them to. It can be people outside the organization. It can be people within your organization who are not member of that team. With this explanation, I want to believe that you understand group chats differently from um, um, a team. A team is the one that is coming with channels. Group chats is just a single interface for interaction. So having said this, let's now come back to like the real sense in the environment. So it will now be making sense to you when we start creating this. So any channel that you have a key, this one, they are private channels. Anyone that you do not have a key, is it a key? A padlock is a is a standard channel, which general channel is an example of a standard channel because everyone in the team has access to it. So how do you create a team? This option to create a team is only available if your admin allows you to create a team. When we get to the admin, I will show you that when you create a team here, there are a lot of consequences. What I mean is that it will give rise to you creating groups in different admin centers. So because of that, admins do not want proliferation of groups. So they will just restrict them from creating team. So some question that will come up is if my organization restricts me from creating team and I don't want to go and disturb the admin or raise a ticket, I'll just tell you to create a group chat. But group chat comes with its own limitations. Apart from the privacy that was mentioned, group chat comes with that limitation that will also go back to group chat to have a look at. So the plus sign here is for you to join, look at the create and join team and channel. So you already know what a team is now. So I'm going to hit on team. So here it will say create, create a channel, create a team, and join a team. Now, the team that you can join, now there are also two types of teams. You have the private team, and then you have the public team. Now, this confuses people a lot. You have private team, and you have a public team. But you don't have anything that is called a public channel. What you want to think to be like a public channel is what is called standard channel. Because when you create a group and the group a team, and the team is a public team, it means that when you click on this join, you will have the list of the team here for you to join in your organization. Whether you were invited to or not, you have the option to join. But if the team was created as private, you have to either be invited to the team or given the code to join the team. So you have two types of team. You have the private team, and then you have the public team. But channels, you have the standard and private. So you don't go and call, because everybody there has access, you now go and call it public channel. It's not public channel, it's standard channel. And for team, it's public team. So please don't make that mistake. So quickly, if I click on create a team, so what's going to happen is that it will tell me what is the name you want to give it. I will still call it project M365. I hope it's project I typed there, project M365. Now, it will tell me to give a description. It's not compulsory anyway, but it's advisable you always do it. Is for a demo. All right, so now look at the reason why I had to branch off to tell you that there are types of team is because privacy of a team will now determine what type of team do I want to create. I will explain this to you. Private is have a team. And it is those that I want to give access to that will have access to it. I have public. Public is I will create the team. Whoever wants to join, when he clicks on join, we will have it listed for the person to join. Org-wide team, I must take time to explain this. First of all, organizations only have option to create 5 org-wide team. So if as an administrator I've created one org-wide team and 4 other administrators have created them, then and if another administrator wants to create, or if one of those administrators want to create again, it will not see this org-wide will disappear. But I will hold on here and go back to LabRat and let's see what LabRat we have when it wants to create a team. LabRat is here. LabRat, where are you? Is here. So if LabRat comes to teams and comes to come on LabRat and come to join or create a team, and LabRat comes to create a team, the question is, why is LabRat? Okay, now hold on. The question is, why is LabRat not seeing org-wide team? It is very, very important. I took a pause to explain this to you. The reason why LabRat is not having this is because it is only the global administrator that can create an org-wide team. LabRat is not an administrator. And even if he is an administrator, if he is not the global administrator, he is not able to create an org-wide team. What is an org-wide team? An org-wide team is that team that automatically adds everyone in the organization to itself. So once you create an org-wide team, you don't need to add people to it. Just leave it dynamically. People will get added to that team. Because once the system checks to see that there are users, teams licensed users in that home, they are going to get added to that. I mean, once it discovered that these are identity in this organization that have teams license assigned to them, then they will get added to that team automatically. And you must know that it is only global admin that can create org-wide team, and it is only 5 an organization can have. So once it's more than 5, there's no option. Okay, so having said that, I'll come back to this guy because he is a global administrator, so he has org-wide to create. So you are likely not going to see org-wide team because global admin role are scarcely given to people. Microsoft has advised that you should not have less than 2 global administrators and you should not have more than 4 global administrator, because if your global administrator account is compromised, the extent of damage to your organization cannot be overemphasized. So few persons have that. So even if you are a security admin, you are a Teams administrator. Even if you are a Teams administrator, as big as that role is, speaking to Microsoft Teams, you will not be able to create an org-wide team. So we'll create a private, we'll create a public, and then we'll create one org-wide team from this guy's end. So I think we can create a private from Joseph's end, this user, and go to LabRat. We create a public team, and then we can come to Joseph and create an org-wide team. And then we'll see the behavior of all these. So we're just going to hit on private. So let's put a dash and put private here. Okay, so this is it. It's a private team. So what's going to happen is that now, before today, I'm asking before today, before recent times, this will just go. It will not ask you to type anything here, but you know what's asking now? What is the name that you want to give to the general channel? So it was never like this up until maybe like 2 or 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. So I still want to give it general. I think general is not allowed. Yes, this used to be the name, the default name for all general channels. all team that are created come with the word may come with the channel general. But since they gave the option for you to be able to create your channel yourself, then since then, I mean to give the name to the channel yourself, since then you can no longer give the name general. The name general is now reserved. So we can put two just so we can, or maybe one. So we can just move on. At least make it different from general, right? So we click on create. So what's going to happen is that the next thing is going to ask you is add people to the to the to the to the team that you created. Look at it. Right now there are no people there, so it's just coming up to say add members. So I want to add. I want to add Rafiah, and I want to add Paul to this. So what this means is that these are the only people that I'm going to be having to get the access to this as what. So again, within a team, just like you have on WhatsApp admin, you can have an admin and then you can have an ordinary owner. So here we have owners and members. So if you want this guy to administer on the charts, I mean on the team, then you can add the person as an owner. Again, there's an advice that you should not be the only owner of a team just in case of your inavailability. However, when we get to admin center, we can do a lot. But what happens if I add Rafiah as, oh no, I leave Rafiah as, I mean, these people are just members of this team. And then I resign from the organization and I created this team. What that means is that none of these people is going to have the ability to administer the team. So, but there's a remedy to that. But this is the reason why it is advised that you should have at least one owner added to you as the owner of the team, because if you are creating the team, then you are automatically the owner of that team. So I can hit on add. So if I do that, so what it means is that I have created a channel, and to even make it nice, I'm going to add. So to add more members to it, as maybe people keep joining your team, you can click on here and then you can click on add member. So when you do this, I'm going to bring this guy in. So I'm going to bring in this guy. Yeah. Let me do this and add him to this team. So right now, if I come to this place, you see the team here, not the general channel, the team here. If I click on here and then I click on manage team and I click on members, I'm going to see the members of that team. We are the two owners of the team, and these are members. I can decide to demote this person to become a member and promote this person to become an owner, as the case may be. Let's not play too much. So you see what just happened? I have demoted myself from an owner. And because I did that, I can no longer promote any of this person to become anything, because myself, I am now a member accidentally. So I have lost rights to what I created. And that was by mistake. Okay, let's now go. If I come to manage team again now, I have restriction to what I can do, because what just happened? I just made myself to become a member. I am now armless. I did that honestly by mistake, but I think that mistake is very nice. So I am stuck. It's until Rafiah go to make me an owner before I can administer. I can add more people to this channel. I can manage it. As it is, I cannot do anything. So that's why. But this person, you cannot demote the last owner of a team. I must mention that. But let's quickly, because I have made mistake. I'm sure Rafiah is not signed in this thing at this time, so she will not be able to help me get up again. I'll just go back to create a new team. You see the reason why users are not given that right, because when you create this team, I don't want to stress it. It has created an M365 group. It has created a SharePoint site. You have the team showing up in the Entra admin center. you have it replicating in several places. And now, because of my mistake, I have to create another group. And when I create another group, the same thing will happen again. And when you have too many people creating this, it can become a problem. And that is why the restriction I mentioned earlier is important. So I'm just going back to hit on create a team, of course, because I lose access to that, right? So I'll call it project M365. I can just call this private 2 because it will not take the other name anymore. So I'm also going to create as a private channel, I mean as a private team, and then I'm going to call this general 1. Because it is in a different team, it will accept it. So I'm just going to quickly hit on create because we are repeating the same thing we did earlier. So the same thing is going to now tell me to add members. So I'm going to quickly add members. I'm not going to promote anybody to an owner, Rafiah, or I know I'm adding 3 persons. I can also add lab rats because of what I want to show. Lab rats. Okay, so I have added them. There's no point. I don't want to promote anybody. We've gone past that stage. So now this is project 2. So inside project 2, this general is where everything is happening. We can start a conversation. Hello, all the celebration in the team can be welcome to Team Green, welcome to everything. So I'll just post. Everybody can decide to come now and start. What are you not posting? Oh, that's the title of my post. So I can just do whatever I want to do, and then people can keep replying to it, or now bringing up new posts. The option to reply is a talk for another day because some people don't even know how to chat on Teams channel. The next thing they want to do is to hit or start a post when you want to talk about the ongoing conversation instead of you to come here and reply to this so that everything can be kept together like in a chain. Because if you go and create another post again, it is going to create another chain of conversation. So these are part of the productivity, idea that people should need to have. Because if you come here, for example, you can also at mention everyone. I mean, the name of the channel. You can at mention the people. You can at mention the name of the channel. But let's not go too detailed about that for now. So while in this channel, you have option to make a call. So whatever call you are hitting here now is going to ring everybody in the team. This is called a ad hoc meeting. Meet now. That's what I call it. Meet now is like a meeting you did not schedule. Maybe there's an emergency and you just quickly hit on this to give it a name. You can just say quick one. So once I hit on this, then everybody is going to get ring into the call. So also I can also just come here and then do like a schedule. So if I do a schedule, then this is going to like take me to calendar, which we have not gotten to, and then try to schedule it. When is the meeting? When is the ending? If I have an agenda, I can add an agenda, add the notes. It's going to get delivered, all of that, right? So everybody gets invited. I think the time is flying. So let's be a bit faster to make sense of what we are trying to do. So now that is the general channel that comes with it. This is like the living room from our description. Remember, this is like this one here, this one here. Now we want to create one for technical guys. So that one is going to be like a private channel. So when we get here, what we'll do is we'll say add channel. And then this time we are going to call it technical. It's coming up. I've clicked on it, except something happened. So I will click on add channel again. Okay. So I'm going to call it technical. What am I doing? Technical team. Okay. So now choose the channel type. That's why you are seeing private. Of course, you now know what private is. Shared, people outside, people or team in your organization or outside the organization can have access. So private, I mean standard, everyone on the team has access. So but we are doing private. So private specific people, yeah, can join. So we are calling it technical, create. So in that game, we only have now we can add member to the team, to the channel. Yes, this is where we add member, but you cannot add somebody that is outside of the team to this place. So we must be looking for lab rats. No, we don't want to add lab rats. I want to add this guy as I want to add Benga and Paul as technical guys within that team. So what happens now is that you see technical team. I will be able to see it. Paul will be able to see it. But you can see this key here. Because of this key here, and labrat is not added. So let me just quickly create another one. Add a channel. So labrat is maybe in accounting. So I want to create a private channel, and I'm calling it. I want to bring. So Rafiah can be in more than one of the channels, right? So I want to put in labrat here now. So once I'm putting labrat and I'm putting Rafiah here, and I click on add. So what's going to happen is that because I am the owner of the team, I'll be able to see general, I'll be able to see accounting, I'll be able to see technical. But labrat will see project M35 project 2. He will be able to see general, and then he will be able to see technical team. Is he in technical team? No, he's in accounting. So let's go now. Let's go and refresh from labrat end. Labrat is here. So labrat will not see, okay, he has seen project. What is this? Project 2 already. And you can see accounting. You can see general. Where is technical? He's not in technical. But once I add him to technical, he will see technical. But again, what I want to do is, look at this. When labrat comes here and it comes to manage team, he cannot, okay, if he comes here, for example, he cannot, let's add a channel. What role has he in that place? Let's just check something. Test. So the reason why labrat again is able to add the channel is because the configuration of the team allows him to be able to do that, which we will look at very soon. Now he wants to create, he doesn't have option to create a shared channel. Now he wants to create a private channel, and then he's hitting on what does he want to call it? He wants to call it, okay, let him create a standard channel, and then he wants to call it standard project. And now let him just hit on create. So what happens is that labrat is a member, but he just created a channel, right? All this can be configured not to happen. But because it's a standard channel, you see that it did not give him the option to add people to it, to that channel, right? So if we come back to this guy, he's going to see, if we click on see all channels now, he's going to see where's that labrat just created. Standard projects. Is going to have it here, and then he's going to be able to interact there because it's a standard channel. It does not ask you, because all the members of the standard channels are just going to be the members that are of the members that are of the, if you look at it, when I click on here and I click on manage channel, I don't see anything other than the moderation, who can start a post, to just manage it. But if I come to this place and I come to manage channel, you will see that I have option for members because this is a private channel. Now, I said I was going to create a public team from labrat end. So I'm coming here to labrat, and labrat is going to create a standard team. Did I say standard? I just made a mistake. A public team. Create a team. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it Project 365, and I want to call it public. So I'm not going to add Joseph to it. I want to give it, because of course it's not a public, it's not, what's it called? It's not a global admin. It's not going to see the, what's it called? White team, right? It's creating a general, a standard team. And then the channel is going to be general, of course. Let's just call it public. Okay, so if I create this, now look at the difference. It's done. Nice job, right? I don't have, if I come to public here and I click on members, manage team, members, only me as the owner, I don't have members. I can add members, but right now there are no members. So what happens if this guy, if Joseph here comes to refresh here, maybe he doesn't want to refresh, and then come to add or create a team, then he would have options to join a team. So let me just come to team, and then I come to join or create. If I click on join, then that team, you see it here, project, because this is now going to be like a public team for everybody in the organization to join. So if you go to join team in your organization, maybe there are play groups or maybe project groups, learning groups, all of that, they can create them. If you like to join, you can just click on join and you can join the team. So it's a joint team. So if I come here now, I'm going to see what's the name of that team again? I think it's public. Yeah, this is it. So I'm going to see it. So I'll see the general channel. So if I go to Labrat side, and if I go to Labrat side now and I check, where is it? Yeah, this Labrat, yeah, LR. So and I check membership again, then I'm supposed to see that Joseph is now a member. So it just needs me to do a refresh. Of course, you know that I did not add him. So coming back here, if I go to, where are you? Public, yeah. So if I click on here now from Labrat, yeah, and I do manage team, so I should see Joseph as member. Yeah, you can see under member and guest, I'm a member because this guy is the owner. I can promote me to owner. But if you come to this place, should come to this place here. No, not there. Here. And I come to that same public. If I come here and I go to manage team and I go to members, you will see this. You see that option for me to promote that I saw here, and I saw under Labrats. Don't get confused, please. I saw under Labrat here. Look at the person signed in LR. I can promote. But once I go to Joseph, even though Joseph is an admin, because he's approaching this from the client end, as in the team's client and not the admin center, he will not have any power, but until he's promoted to become an owner before he can do that. And that was what Rafiah needed to do for me to be able to continue with the first that we created, that I demoted myself. Okay, so I'll come back to create an org-wide team. We've created public, we've created private, and now it's time for org-wide. So because this guy here is the global administrator, then he has options to create a global, an org-wide team. So I'll go to hit on create a team, and then I'll just call this project 365, and I'll call it org-wide. Org-wide. Remember, I can only create 5 org-wide team. And if you come here, you go to org-wide, and then just call it org-wide. Org-wide. Let's call it general org-wide. General-org-wide. So if I hit on create, watch something that's going to happen. Great job, right? It's not telling me add people like when I did private. See, when I did public too, there was no option, right? So if you come to project org-wide and you come to this place, you come to manage team. So what you will see is this. It will tell you that this is org-wide team. And then if you come to members, so what it will do is, you have seen that it has added 12 members already without me adding anybody. It added Benga, Rafiah, all these people. This is because these are people in my organization. It does not need me to add people to it, right? So these are the two global administrator in this tenant, and it has automatically made them an owner. Me, because I'm a global admin, I created it. This person, because he's a global administrator also in this tenant. Without me, did you hear me ever mention Jerry throughout our conversation? But you see, the guy has jumped up to become an owner of the org-wide team. This used to not be, this was not always here, because the addition to this place is auto. So this is not going to be useful, except maybe is to invite a guest user, because of course you can invite a guest also. So now if you go to LabRat end, of course, if you check here, you'll see that LabRat is already here. Look at him. So if you come to LabRat end now, because it is an org-wide team, LabRat is just going to be seeing that team. I call it project. I'll just do a refresh, just one more. So with this, I know I've not created shared channel, but shared channel can be assignment. I mean, the same thing. There is nothing so unique about it. So I must be stating the differences between a team and a group chat now, because obviously it's not looking, yes, apart from the fact that you know the privacy in your group chats, if you come back to your chats that I call Project 2020. So it's going to be on that chat, while your team is going to be on that teams, so that you don't get it confused. We still see this one here, Project 2020, I mean Project M365 is still here. But if you come here, there is nothing you want to manage here. There is nothing. But if you come here, there are a lot of things that you want to manage here. Let's say I want to still use the same name. In private, you have a lot of things manage. So apart from that, when you come to files and you want to upload, excuse me, let it load. Let me just come to the general channel so that we can just look at like the general home of everything. Now you have option to upload file. Yes, we know. But if you come to this place, if you come to this upload, you have folder, right, that you can upload here. Look at it. You have files that you can upload. Folder is very important. When you upload this folder, let's not stress it, but you can upload folder. When we get inside, we will know the difference. But when you come here to project 2024, why am I just saying 2024? If I come to this place, I have option to upload, but look at something. Excuse me. I have option to share a file. If I click on share, and then I have option to upload a file, also files, upload. But can you see? It is upload. There is no folder. It's only file that you can upload from device or from. There is no folder. That is a very big difference that you should be aware of. There is no option to upload folder to a group chat. You can only upload files. So what this means is that in a team, you can upload folder inside of folder. So you can, without you can also create a new folder without you can inside of here, I think they will write what to be create. You can create a folder and name it planning inside there, right? And then you can decide to even give it color to say, maybe let it be green. It's not green, maybe planning can be yellow, and then that is there. You can now start, even right inside the chat, the folder, you can upload subfolders inside of there, right? Now, if you come to create another folder, for example, you can decide to call this concluded, and then you can call that a green. Now, what is this helping you to do? Within your team, you are creating, like you are organizing the way you are working. General, excuse me, yeah. General is document library that you've done in this. So if you go to the SharePoint site, you're going to see all this they're showing up for you. Now, if I come to upload, and then I mean I want to create, upload is there, but if I want to create, I can also create and then give them, you can try all this out when you are trying to practice. So that is one major differences, I mean, that you can have between a team and a group chat. Now, another very, very important thing that we will be drilling right deep into before we go ahead, we say, we call it a day. Today is the administration of a team. So I want to play with this private too. For example, if I come to manage team as an owner of this team, I want to find out if this guy, Labrat, is a member of private too. Of course he is. Now, because he's a member of private too, I hope I will not just mix these things up. Just give me some time. Yeah, private too. And then under private too, I just want to be in the general channel and I want to start a post. Hello. And I feel that this post, I want to I have achieved what I want to do. I want to delete it, right? I can delete. If I want to edit, I can edit to say thank you. Or I'll later come back to say, let's say I use a foul word like fraud and I post it. And then later I quickly came back and I click on this and I say good. I'll hit on post. And then I can come back and say, no, there's just too many things. I'll just delete and it's gone. The other person will not have this option to undo. Remember. So let me come back to this place. Like there are a lot of instances, but coming back to this place, let's not mix the team. So it's private too. So I just want to remain in private too. So let's come here, private too. I want to come back to private too. I think this is it. I know this is where I am actually, but I wanted to show us like the general charts where we have the conversation going. I want to just give me some time. Let me trace it. Okay, this is it. So I was in general channel. So you can see that chart from that guy, I don't have it here. Now, because of that, just to save our time, if I come to manage team, I can decide to come to settings. And what I want to do is not settings actually. I want to go to channel. Excuse me. I think I'll be doing that inside one of the private channel. Which team do I have? Which channel do I have that guy? Let me find out. Don't get confused, please. I'll address this now. Labrat is in within here is in standard project. Okay, cool. Now let's manage standard project channel. So instant standard project channel, he's starting the conversation. Test. And then test. And then he's posting standard projects. And then he can edit. He can also come back and he comes here and then he can delete. Good. So standard project. Let's not forget. So let's come back to Joseph now. Now standard project. Is Joseph a member of standard project himself? Standard project. This is it. So if we come here, I will come to manage channel. Hold on. Manage. Let me see. Members. I'm an owner here. Good. So I want to see something. Manage team, first of all. Settings is giving us, yeah, this is where I wanted to go to. Apologies. So it's not just the channel, it's the entire team. Sometimes these things still escape somebody's mind. Of course, you can decide to do a lot here. Like this membership permission is what I wanted to look at. For this guy, whatever channel he is, whether it's in general, it's in accounting, I'm managing that team as a whole. So now if you come to my end here, and then you go to again here, and then you go to manage team, and then you go to settings, you scroll down. That was just all I needed to do. So if you click on this open here, you can see allow member to create and update channels. So if you don't want them to be able to create channel, like I did from LabRat end where I created a channel, I'll put it off. Then allow member to delete and restore messages, I turn it off. Allow member to add or remove apps, I turn it off. Then I want to look for edits. This one I don't even have much to do with this, but I can still turn it off. Then allow member to upload custom app, allow member to create, update, and remove tabs, allow members to create, update, and remove connectors, allow members to create, edit, and delete tag, give member option to delete their messages, we turn this off, give member the option to edit their messages, we turn this off. Then guest permission, we don't have a guest here. So at mentions, we want to say, okay, that show members the option to add mention in team, we turn it off. Then give members the option to add mention the channel, we turn it off. Then if we want to allow them to use code to generate code, we can generate code for persons to join, but we don't want to do that now. Fun stuff. Do you want them to be able to use GIF, like I was telling you in this in those stickers? If you don't want them to use them, you can turn them off. Then I think this is good for now. So the good thing is that once you do this, let's come back to LabRats. Remember, we are doing that on Project Private 2. So this is LabRats, right? Let's just Project Private 2. Let's just do a refresh. In fact, I may not even need to refresh, but just to be on the safe side, I just want to refresh before. I think we are going to be calling it a day very soon. Let's just see the effect of this and see that granular control that I remember I'm not doing this because I'm an admin. I'm doing this because I am an owner of a team. Project Private 2. So just come into this place and I do a post. Let me just do test. Let me just do hello. So I wanted to type hello and I mistakenly post this. If I come here now, you can see that I don't have option to edit my message. I don't have option to delete my message. I don't have option for fun stuff like I will have. Let's not get it twisted. If I come to project private public, I come here. If I want to do a new post, right, I can have, and I do, you can see that I have this here. I can come to GIF. I can do a lot of things, right? I can put this here. Now let's go back to project private 2. Even me that did it, the owner also will not be able to do that. So if I come to general channel and I'm doing a post, so you can see that those GIF, I can't have them other than emojis. These ones are not those ones that you know. They are not like where I sent that stuff just now. You're not going to see all those fun stuff. And then if I mistakenly send a post, that's all. I will not be able to see the option to edit it. But once I come here, once I come to this place and I just give member option to edit their message, once that is on, now look at it. Let's come back. Is that LR, this, and then you see it's coming here, right? I can edit, now post. I come back here and I want to remove edits. I want to allow delete, allow member to remove, allow member to delete and restore channel, and all that. Allow member to create an update. Let's check. Give member the option to delete their messages. Once I do this, and then I come back here, and then when I do this, I'll see delete. But just leave it. Let's come back here. Is that no here? Let me turn this off. Press it to delete. Let me come back here. Let me click again. I still have it. Have I turned it off? Allow member to create and edit. Oh, I did not. Allow member to delete. Give member option to delete. Edit. Give member option to delete. It was still on. So once I come back here, where is it? Yeah, I will not see it again. Right. So if I come back here, now, if I come to this place and I hit on this and I want to create a channel, can you see I cannot do that? Look at it. I cannot create it. But if I come here, can you see I have add channel? The reason is because here I don't want people to keep breaking out without my control. So here, allow members to create an update channel. So once I do this and I come back to project plan 2, where is Labrat? If I come here, project plan 2, where are you? You can see I'll have add channel, right? So your curiosity will now be telling you, what if I have clicked it like this before the guy came to do allow member to create an update and turn it off? What happens if I go ahead and type it? I will not tell you the answer. Go and try it yourself. Thank you very much for your time. So there is much to do, but the much of it is in your hands. Just keep playing around these things. It's fun. And that's one of the ways you can learn. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah. Time for questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joseph, for that wonderful presentation. We really appreciate your time and commitment to this program. Thank you so much, and we wish you the quickest recovery. Can you all hear
Thank
me?
you. Yes,
Okay,
please. Your
okay,
voice is loud and clear.
okay. Thank you so much. So I think the very first question we have is from Tara. I think she's asking that. She did ask that. Sorry, please hold on. Can anyone create a group on Teams, or it's only the admin that can create a group on Teams? That was the first question.
So do you want me to answer them together? If they are much, I think I can just take
Okay,
all of them.
okay, all
So
of them at a time, right? Okay, that'll be
yeah,
fine. Um,
just let me have them. Who can create? Yeah. Go ahead. Take the next
okay.
one for me. Mm.
The next one is saying, is it okay, team? I think Kelechi has been answering that question. Some questions have been answered already. So this person, Ojo Aziz, I don't seem to understand your question. You're asking, what about a zipped folder? So I think you were explaining something then when you asked that question. Okay, someone answered. Are you the only one that? Okay, sorry. I think that seems to be the only question. Okay, how can you give a recordings permission to a person? Is that part of Teams? Yeah. He's asking, how can you give a recordings permission to a person? Then is LabRat an application you installed or is it inbuilt? Someone is asking that, is LabRat an application that you installed or is it inbuilt? LabRat. Okay. And okay. I think that should be all of the questions so far.
All right. So that's okay, Rafiah. Thank you. So
You're welcome.
I will start from the first question. Who can create a group in team? So one very important thing I need to explain at this point is it all teams are group, but not all groups are teams. Please think that. I will say that again, just for the sake of emphasis. All teams are groups, but not all groups are teams. So what that means is that When you create a team, it becomes a Microsoft 365 group. But it is not all Microsoft 365 groups that are teams. Having said that, the question is who can create a group in Teams? By default, everyone can create team. So what that means is that when everyone creates a team, then it means that those teams can replicate as group in your environment. But when an admin decides to restrict who can create group in M365, then it affects teams as well. So when it restricts it to a group of persons can create group, then it is only those people that can create. There's a PowerShell command that you can run where you can disable people from creating team in your environment. Let me just quickly see if I can get hold of that. So I think this should be the link. I know that link. If I see it, I will know. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. So I'll drop it on the chat so that you can go check so that there can be restriction. But where there is no restriction, then everyone can create a team. And once you are creating a team, then it is replicating as a group. But when there are restrictions to who can create Office 365 group, then it affects those who can create teams as well. I hope that is able to explain it. If you still read the link I dropped to, yeah, it can be very clear. So, but if you have questions, you can ask me. Mostly I'm on LinkedIn. I can answer questions. So how can you give recording permission to a person? So this question is of twofold. So if it is speaking to who should be able to record, so that will speak to what we'll be doing in the future, what is called the meeting policy. So there is meeting policy and then there is calling policy. So you can say you put people in a policy to say they should not be able to record their calls. But where calls are recorded, there are two places they can be saved. If the call is, unfortunately, we couldn't get to calendar today, but if the call is scheduled from calendar by a user, the recording of that meeting, and recording is allowed in the meeting policy for that user, then the recording of a meeting that is scheduled from calendar is going to be saved on the user's OneDrive. So before now, it used to be anyone who recorded the meeting will have it in its OneDrive. But recently, like very recently, it was arranged in such a way that whoever records it, the meeting recording is going to be sitting on a folder called recording in the OneDrive, on the OneDrive of the person who scheduled the meeting. Now, who can give the permission? Now it is the owner of that recording that can grant permission, just like you are sharing file from your OneDrive to user, depending on the permissions that your organization, your sharing policy allows you. If it allows you to share outside the organization, of course you can. But if it restricts you to share only within your organization, of course it will hold. Now, speaking to the meeting that are scheduled from Teams channel, you need to be very mindful. Meetings that are recorded from Teams are scheduled from Teams channel. When they are recorded, they are saved to the corresponding SharePoint sites of that channel. So I mentioned that when you create a team, the team replicates on SharePoint because Teams does not have its own storage. Teams leverages on SharePoint for storage and OneDrive for individual files. So team storage is OneDrive, SharePoint, and OneDrive. Where it is team in Teams, then it is SharePoint. Where it is an individual file, whether on a one-on-one recording or a one-on-one call recording, or in a group chat, then it's going to be residing on the OneDrive of an individual. But if it is from the Teams channel, then it's going to be on SharePoint. We are going to be looking at those later. Then whoever you grant access, whoever has access to that SharePoint site has access to the recording based on the permission the person has on that folder where the file is saved as the MP4 format. So if that is okay, then I can move on to, is LabRat an app installed or an inbuilt? LabRat is not an application. So LabRat is like a normal user that I created that I use for my demos. So if you watch most of my recordings, then you would find out that I will always use LabRat to do my tests. Like the live session I just left, it was me and LabRat doing attack simulation trainings. And then here again, it is LabRat. The guy is going through a lot, but he's a full-fledged user, like every other user that is licensed. So that's what LabRat is. So, Rafiah, I am I think I've looked at the
You've
questions,
really
except
tried,
there are
yeah.
follow-up. Yeah.
Yes, just please just help us with this last one before you leave. This will be the last one. Then I'll take care
Okay.
of the rest. This person is
Okay.
asking, I want to know if it's possible for an admin to give himself admin permission on a group created by a user who didn't add in to the group, just like it's done in SharePoint.
Yes, of course you can do that. So now depends on which admin are you talking about. So I know that Exchange admin has access to those groups that you create. I mean, when you create a group, Exchange admin has access to it. But note that when you create a group, listen, when you create a group, the global administrator and the Exchange admin have access to those group, so they can decide to add themselves to the group you created. If you don't, for example, if you create a team and you don't add me as a team's administrator, I can go in there into that team. I can add myself from the admin center. When we start looking at the admin center, we'll look at that. But when you create a group and you give it a role, so you can create a group and call it Exchange administrator, right? I mean, you have an Exchange administrator, you create a group, and you give a role to that group to say the group is security admin. An Exchange admin cannot add himself to the group because the group has a role. But where the group is just an M365 group, an Exchange admin can add himself to the group. A global admin can add himself to the group. Where it is teams, from teams, the admin can add himself to it. But where you're talking about from Entra or M365, if a role is assigned to the group, then it is only the global admin, from the last I checked, you can check also, that could add himself to an existing group that has a role. But all other administrators will not be able to add themselves to a group that a role is assigned to. If you check it and it works for you, of course, I'm ready to learn that also. You can let me know that it worked. But that is from the last time I checked. That is what I saw. So that's it.
Thank you so, so much, Joseph. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, if you have any other questions, please reach out to Joseph on LinkedIn. I'm sure Joseph Afeso is the only. Yeah, if you check him out, there's no two Joseph Afeso. So just drop your questions, connect with him, and yeah, we do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Quick recovery. Have a good night rest, Joseph.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So.